Hi, and welcome to Pet Pals. Every week we showcase animals that are looking for forever homes at the Frederick County Division of Animal Control and Pet Adoption Center. I'm Linda Shea. With me is Randy Cooper. And the first and only dog for this segment of Pet Pals is Mizzy. Mizzy is an adorable little Chihuahua Maltese mix. She actually was adopted from the shelter when she was a puppy, and now she's about 6 to 7 years old. She is only about 9 pounds, so if you're looking for a lap dog, you can see she fits comfortably on a lap. If you're looking for just a small companion, she does need some grooming maintenance as far as brushing, and if you're able to have a professional groomer take care of her, that would be acceptable as well. But she's just a darling little personality. Coming from the shelter as a puppy, she is already spayed, she's microchipped, she's current on the vaccines that she needs. She does have a low-grade heart murmur, just a 1 out of 6, which is sometimes common for certain breeds. And of course she's, again, already spayed and ready to go. But Mizzy is, she's very affectionate and just is a small little companion. If you're looking for this type of dog, I would come in and visit with her. She's maybe a little bit shy at first, but you can see that she warms up pretty quickly. And again, she is looking for a forever home. As an older dog, she does qualify for what we call a senior pet discount. So her adoption fee would be $72.50, and that covers getting everything that she's needed on board and current, along with a vet checkup while she's been back with us at the shelter. And the reason she was turned in, the previous owners just had issues with the landlord. So oftentimes when animals are either turned into the shelter or returned from an adoption, it's really not the animal's fault or anything to do with the animal. It's just usually a human interaction or a human situation that's changed. But again, Mizzy is here looking for a second chance. This handsome fella is named Chewy. He came in as an owner relinquishment. Chewy is about 1.5 years old, and he is a lion head mixed bunny, and might be difficult to see, but he's got a very, very unique color to his coat. He's got the long length to it, but he's also got what is reminiscent of dog ticking, meaning that he's got like the brown hair, or one length of hair will have like brown on the bottom part and then black on the tips of it, and then it's reversed throughout his coat. So really unique. Even if you're not interested in adopting a bunny, come into the shelter and just look at his coat to get an idea of if the camera's not picking it up. But Chewy is about 1.5 years old. He was purchased from a bunny breeder, and then oftentimes what we see when bunnies are turned in, if they were purchased from a breeder, breeders will not always take their animals back. So if you are purchasing an animal from a breeder, you want to give that consideration. If your lifestyle changes, if things happen, reputable breeders typically do take their animals back regardless of circumstances, because they are the ones that chose to create these bunnies in the first place. But Chewy's got a great temperament, great personality. And the reason he was turned in, the person just didn't have enough time. So bunnies do require just as much time as dogs and cats. In addition to the time requirement, they need to be kept safe. Bunnies are prey animals, so you need to make sure that if you have large animals in your home or predatory animals in your home, that you're making sure that the bunny is housed in a safe pen or room or somewhere where they can live and be comfortable and feel secure. Bunnies also have some requirements as far as diet. You need to make sure that they have something to chew on. You want to make sure that you're checking their teeth to make sure that their teeth don't have any issues with being worn down properly. You also need to trim bunny toenails on a regular basis, and if you're not comfortable doing that, you need to make sure that you have a vet that can help you either train you to do it or just make sure that you take your bunny to the vet on a regular basis to have that done. Sometimes bunnies, especially because they're typically would be indoors, they don't have a way of wearing down their nails naturally. But Chewy is with us again. He's only about 1.5 years old. So if you are interested in learning about him, you want to visit the shelter. And we also have some bunny experts in our volunteer pool that can help answer questions that we would direct you to. But again, this is Chewy. He's about 1.5 years old, and he is looking for a forever home.
think a chinchilla.
This little girl is Bella, and Bella is very beautiful. Must have been a volunteer in here a couple of nights ago brushing her. She's very soft, very smooth. She is an Angora rabbit, and she was adopted from here, kind of like Mizzy, our puppy of the week, or our dog of the week, was adopted from here about 4 years ago. And she was turned in. The folks just didn't have time anymore for her and had some health issues. So one thing that we do when folks adopt from our shelter, we take responsibility for those animals for their whole entire lives. So if situations do change, we do tell people that they need to bring that animal back, and then we reevaluate for adoption. So Bella is available for adoption. Our bunny adoptions include getting those animals spayed, any medical treatment that they need, they receive while they're here, and the adoption fee for bunnies is $50. There is a process similar to our cats, dogs, and other animal process where you fill out an adoption application. We do our precursory screening, and there is an educational interview. And our interview process for any animal here, it really is an opportunity for us to answer questions that you have. If you've never had a bunny before, we've got some excellent volunteers that are very expert in bunnies. So they can answer questions, they can help you set up a housing unit in your home for the bunny, offer information on proper diet and bunny care and grooming and maintenance. And a bunny like Bella is going to need routine brushing. Bunnies can't really maintain their coats as well as sometimes long-haired cats can. So you need to make sure that you're brushing your bunny at least once a week for a bunny like Bella, more often than that. And then you want to make sure that you're just handling her on a regular basis. Check out her toenails, make sure her teeth are okay, make sure her ears are clean, make sure her housing unit is clean. That's something that, especially when you've got a long-haired bunny, you want to make sure that there's not any residue or remnants that she could get into that might cause it to be anything but ideal. But this is Bella. You can see she's got a great temperament, great personality, interested in being very social and on somebody's lap. So if you're looking for that kind of bunny, I invite you to come in and visit. This little guy is Raven. Raven came to us the end of October, turned in by an owner. He was just one of several kittens that was born on the property, and the person did the right thing and captured them and brought them to the shelter. And they've been very well socialized. Raven is extremely very kitten-like, very social, very active, very interested in what's going on around him. He's about just about 4 pounds, which makes him just about 4 months of age. And again, very affectionate, has been handled. And while being here at the shelter, he did develop an upper respiratory infection. That has been sort of an issue here at the shelter the last couple of months. We've had an outbreak of upper respiratory in cats. So if you come in to visit, we do ask that you sanitize your hands in between handling cats, even something innocent like your child maybe touching a cat through the cage and then touching excuse me, the next door neighbor cat can cause a spread of germs. So we do advise, and you'll be reminded if you come to visit that that's something we ask you to do. Raven, again, he's about 4 months old. Prior to leaving here, he will be neutered. He will be microchipped, so in the event he gets away from his new family and ends up at the shelter at a vet's office, we can easily return him back to where he belongs. He has already been tested for feline leukemia, feline immunodeficiency virus, and has tested negative for both of those viruses. We also color code our animals, and a lot of times kittens, such as Raven, are color coded green. They typically are just very active and they just require a little extra maintenance, a little extra monitoring at home if you're bringing home a kitten. But we've got lots of kittens at this time of year, which is unusual, but that's what's been going on at the shelter. So if you're looking for a kitten, Raven is just one of many choices you've got right now. Sanchez came to us as a stray from Blue Mountain Road in Thurmont. I think sometimes folks don't realize that even though we are located on Rosemont Avenue in Frederick City, folks bring us animals from all over the county, as far away as Emmitsburg, Mount Airy, Adamstown. So if you are missing a pet, you do want to check the shelter. We are the one and only animal shelter in Frederick County. We take in last year we took in just under 5,000 animals. About half the animals we take in are stray, half are previously owned or turned in by owners. So if Sanchez looks familiar, if you live off Blue Mountain Road in Thurmont, you may want to check the shelter if you're missing a kitten that looks like this. Sanchez is about 4 months old. We did name him. Strays that come in, we do provide names for them. It's a little more personal than calling him Cat 1747. He will, again, as with all of our cats, he will be neutered prior to leaving here. He's already been tested negative for leukemia and FIV. And he also developed an upper respiratory infection which has been resolved. So again, if you come to visit our shelter, or really any shelter, you want to make sure that you sanitize your hands in between animals, just for your health, for preventing you from catching anything and preventing spread of germs throughout the animal population. Prior to leaving here, we'll make sure that Sanchez has all the vaccines that he needs. Currently, he is current on vaccines, on preventatives, deworming, and so forth. And again, did have that upper respiratory, which he has now resolved. And being a kitten, he's also color-coded green. So again, it's to adopt a kitten, the fee is $97.50, and that covers any medical care that they need. Again, spaying, neutering, microchipping, county license if you're in county, and also includes a free vet visit. We've got a list of many participating vets in the county that offer a free exam once you've adopted from the shelter. You just make your appointment within 3 days and you get a nose to tail exam for free. So this is Sanchez, just one of many kittens right now looking for a forever home. We're going to go ahead and take a short break. When we come back, we're going to take a look at 5 more of our feline population.
Get connected, get answers. Do you need help with things like finding a job or a doctor, getting health insurance, finding affordable childcare, or securing housing? Maybe you could use some help with solving a problem or need someone to listen. 211 Maryland can assist you with these and many other issues. 211 offers free and confidential information and referral services 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and has access to 150 languages for non-English speakers. Learn more by visiting www.211md.org.
Hi, I'm Tracy and this is Catherine. We are Frederick County 911 dispatchers and we're here to tell you what to expect when dialing 911.
We're on the line to listen, and we also have important instructions to give you. Your 911 operator needs to get essential information from you as quickly as possible by asking the following questions in this order.
What is the address of the emergency so we can send the right help to the right location? What is the phone number you're calling from? If the line disconnects, we may need to call you back. What is your name so we can address you properly? And tell me exactly what happened. Asking these questions allows operators to start dispatch to emergencies quickly.
Your 911 operator is often working closely with one or more dispatchers, obtaining important information which is relayed to responders who are on the way to your location while you are still on the phone.
This process is repeated on each call to ensure responders get to each emergency as quickly and safely as possible with the right information to provide the best service they can.
Law enforcement, fire and rescue, and other responders rely on 911 operators and dispatchers to obtain specific information that varies with each type of call. Sometimes it may seem as though your 911 operator is asking a series of unnecessary questions, but in fact this information is vital for getting the right help sent to the right place. Often, help is already on the way while your 911 operator is talking to you.
While emergency crews are responding, dispatchers continue to provide them with updated information gathered by your 911 operator.
Also, your 911 operator may be able to provide you with important life-saving direction, from how to safely exit a building on fire to CPR instruction, providing important information for staying safe and out of danger during a vehicle accident, as well as helping a caller deliver a baby.
For more information, visit frederickcountymd.gov/911 or call the non-emergency number at 301-600-1603.
Welcome back to Pet Pals. We've got 5 more cats and kittens that we're going to take a look at that are looking for adoptive families. First cat we're going to take a look at is Maribel. She is a product of foster care, and you will hear me say this often. Folks that have adopted from us, that have adopted foster care animals, come back looking specifically for foster care animals. Typically, they are very well socialized. We have a history with the family. The foster care providers are more than happy to provide any information on the interaction that foster care pets have with their family members, maybe with other pets in the home, and give you some background on that. So Maribel was put into foster care. She came to us back in the early part of November, and prior to leaving here, she will be spayed. She did come in with 2 underage kittens, and unfortunately, due to the severity of the upper respiratory infection that we had, they did not survive. So she is sort of just on her own at the moment. So we're hoping to place her into a family that perhaps has another cat. She's used to being around people, definitely very social, and she's color-coded blue. And if you're not familiar with our color code system, blue are kind of our lap cats, the ones that are very affectionate, very people-centered, very relaxed, and she obviously demonstrates all of that personality-wise. So we're looking to find her a good forever home that will take care of her for the rest of her life. But Maribel is very sweet. One question that we get often is, even if I live out of Frederick County, can I adopt? And yes, you certainly can. We are 100% county tax funded, so that is why we don't take in animals from other counties. Taxpayers' money pays for us to exist. So if you're relinquishing a pet, you must be Frederick County resident. However, if you want to adopt from us, you can be out of county. But this is Maribel, just one of many cats and kittens now looking for a forever home. This little girl is Butterscotch. Butterscotch is about 5 years old. She's just about 9 pounds, and she was adopted from the shelter as well. So she's another return to shelter. And a lot of times we compare our statistics to other shelters that are comparable, and usually on average any shelter that is open admission has an average of 10 to 12% adoptions that are returned, and so we fall in right into that percentage. So it's not unusual that, and again, part of our adoption contract states that if you adopt from us and can't keep the pet for any reason, we don't ask questions. I mean, we'll ask questions when you relinquish, but regardless of the circumstance, we will take that animal back, primarily because we want to evaluate the adoption process to see what might have been done better, if there's anything that we can do to help you keep your pet. But on another note, we want to make sure that animals are returned to us so we can ensure their safety. We can make sure that if we need to rehome them, we can do so appropriately. We don't want them to end up just being handed over to just anyone or just tossed out on the street, especially a cat that's been indoors. But Butterscotch is here now. Her adoption fee, because she's older, is discounted to $77.50. We've gone ahead and provided her boosters on the vaccines that she's needed, on the preventatives that she's needed. We've also retested her for leukemia and FIV, and both of those viruses are negative. And she did experience also the upper respiratory infection that's been traveling around. So again, if you come to visit the shelter, help us help them by making sure that you adhere to the signs of sanitizing between cats, or even better yet, just resist from touching any of the cats unless you're interested in adopting and want to interact in that manner. But this is Butterscotch, one of our many, many felines now looking for a forever home. This little girl is Lily. She is just about a year old. She was adopted about a year ago when she was just a young kitten, and family circumstances changed. The folks that adopted her They've got a family member that's moving back in with them that is allergic to cats, so Lily's ended up back with us. She is just about 9 pounds. She's been brought up to speed on vaccines, on preventatives. She's already spayed, already microchipped, and would be a relatively quicker adoption because she's already spayed. However, you still have to go through the process of filling out an adoption application and then going through an educational interview. Part of our interview and adoption process is to prevent as many returns to shelter as possible. We also want to make sure that we limit any surprises. So if you've never had a cat before, we would have to go over, if you're not aware, cats need litter boxes. They need to be cleaned on a regular basis. Cats also need to see the vet at least once a year to make sure that they're current on vaccines, to make sure that even just for a nose to tail exam that they are everything's in good working order, to make sure that there's no parasites, to make sure that there's no underlying health issues, especially as animals get older. Your vet's going to probably recommend blood work, which is always a good idea, just to make sure that things are working that you can't see. You want to make sure that their kidneys are okay, that their liver's okay. Of course, Lily is only about a year old, so she's got a ways to go before we're thinking about senior blood work, but you want to make sure that you keep that in mind. Cats can live an average of 15 years, so when you are bringing a feline into your home, you want to make that commitment for at least that length of time. But for now, Lily is back here at the shelter and looking for a second chance. So one thing I think we can all agree on is that Serena is one of the most beautiful kittens we have on the floor right now. She's about 7 to 8 months old, and she was brought to us. She was found a while back on Fry Road in Jefferson. The person that found her did the right thing, tried to place the kittens that were found, and she was unable to place Serena. So she brought her here, and Serena is now available for adoption. If you do find litters of kittens, contact us. We can offer low-cost spay-neuter information. We can offer you information on low-cost vaccines. If you have a collection of cats that you want to place or rehome, contact the shelter for more information on how to do that best. One thing you want to make sure that you ensure is that primarily that they are spayed or neutered, that they are current on a rabies vaccine if they're old enough, and then that they receive the preventative vaccines that will keep them healthy for their whole entire life. So you want to make sure that you at least contact us, or if not us, contact your veterinarian. But Serena is here now, so we're glad. She's got a great personality, great temperament. She's almost 6 pounds, so she's a little on the small side, and she's got a beautiful brown tabby white coat with a little bit of orange peeking through, but great personality. And oftentimes when you're looking to adopt a kitten, you may have in your mind, what you want that kitten to look like. But overall, when you think about the lifespan of a cat being 15 years plus, you want to make sure that you include a personality component in there, because oftentimes what makes or breaks the relationship with an animal is their temperament and their personality. Serena is, in addition to being beautiful, she's just got a great personality, a lot of character, and again is very social. So we appreciate the fact that she was brought in and sort of not left out there to create another litter of kittens that would be unwanted. So we're happy to tell you that. She was another kitten that was experienced the upper respiratory infection that was traveling around the shelter, so she has resolved that, is healthy, and she is ready to be adopted. Last little kitten we're going to take a look at is this little fella. He's about 3 to 4 months old. Came in as a stray from McLaurin Lane in Frederick, and as with all of our strays, we offered up for staff and volunteers to name him, and they came up with the name Meowth. So I'm not going to take credit for that. That's a staff and volunteer thing, but he is absolutely adorable. He's one of the younger, smaller kittens on the floor. He's just a little over 3 pounds. We brought him up to speed on vaccines, on dewormer, on preventatives, have tested him negative for leukemia and FIV, and today is, as we're taping, it's December 4th, so he just went on the adoption floor December 2nd. So if you're looking for a kitten, he does have a great personality, and part of the joys of working in this shelter is that we we typically give animals as much of a chance as we possibly can. So believe it or not, this little guy came to us as a trapped cat, as a stray, as relatively not antisocial, but less social than you might expect a lot of kittens to be at this age. And through our staff working with him and handling him, he kind of graduated up from something called a wild box, where cats have lots and lots of privacy, to just being the kitten you see today, just happy to sit on your lap and kind of interact. So that's again one of the joys of working in a shelter like this. We can kind of see those transitions when they happen, and when cats are social or have the potential for being adoptable, we certainly try to make that happen. So Meowth is with us. His adoption fee, as with all of our cats and kittens, his age will be $97.50. He'll be neutered and microchipped prior to leaving here. We've brought him up to speed on all the preventatives he needs. And we're looking forward to finding him a forever home, hopefully before the holidays. And that wraps it up for this week's Pet Pals. We're glad you could join us. If you've seen any animals here today that you're interested in adopting, or if you have family and friends that are looking to adopt a pet, don't forget we're the only shelter in Frederick County on Rosemont Avenue. Have a great week, and we will see you next time on Pet Pals.